everybody.
Here we go.
Hey, pause up, everybody. I'm your host, Arden Moore. This is a little tardy start to Meowy Hour that is presented each and every week by the Cat Fancier Association. And also, we want to give a shout out to our great sponsor in Clover, the makers of some yummy cat and dog supplements. And this is how I get my cat to come down. Rusty, come. Rusty! Hello, everybody. Rusty the Performer here. I'm really glad for Meowy Hour. I'm trying to wear this cowboy hat that was made by Jill Thompson from Onyx Cats. Thanks, Jill. I look perfect. Also, look who we have. We have one of the best professional pet sitting company owners on the planet, and a cool person. And she's going to talk about what it's like to have, an unexpected litter of kittens during a snowstorm in Dallas. Let's give pause and applause to our very special guest today, the president of Park City's Pet Sitter, the one, the only, Joette White. Welcome to the show, Joette.
Hi.
Thank you for your patience while we were praying and keeping our paws crossed while we had a technical hiccup today with Facebook. As you all know, they always change the rules. So why don't we do it right before our show is supposed to start, right, guys?
Yeah.
We also want to get, what's that?
I said we did.
Yeah, and I have a couple of great co-pilots here who just proved today another skill set they have, which is problem solving under pressure. Let's give a big round of applause for all cat breed judge for the Cat Fancier Association. We're talking about Kathy Black and Show That Beautiful Pup, Destiny, hoist, hoist, hoist. And all breed CFA judge and editor of Cat Talk, Teresa Keiger. And of course, sometime during the show, as you guys know, my red tabbies, my ginger boys, Rusty and Casey may or may not make an appearance, always motivated by treats and food. So we've got a lot to cover today. The first thing I want to talk about, though, is a subject that's near and dear to all of us who have a cat or more in our house. I'm talking about a tribosaur. A what?
A what?
A what? A tribosaur? Come on, guys. You know the common name, and you know that sound, and it's always in the middle of the night. You're sleeping, and you hear. We're talking, of course, about hairballs. This is the latest issue of Catster. As you all know, I do write for the magazine. I'm their nutrition columnist. And I gotta say, this was one of my fun topics to tackle, hairballs. I hope you guys put your sandwiches down. I know it's the dinner time hour, but hairballs happen. Right, ladies?
They do. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So let's go around the room, starting putting pressure on our guest. Joette, give us one of your more famous or infamous times of a hairball with one of your cats.
Oh, yeah.
When do they normally happen and where?
Usually right before I'm getting ready to go somewhere. Like the most recent one was on a sweater that I have. So yeah.
Okay, that was nice. How about you, Kathy?
Well, mine will be on the tile and they start gagging and they run to the carpet.
Oh, no.
Or they will get up on the back of the couch to get the most broadcast. Okay.
Oh, sweet.
The puke. Okay. But they will never do it where it'd be easy to clean, right? They've got to make sure they make mother work extra hard to clean up that lovely mess.
And what about you, Teresa? Give us your favorite hairball tale.
Well, y'all may have heard me talk about my 20-something pound Maine Coon.
Yeah.
And when they have a hairball, it's
it's they're not shy, right? Do you need like a shovel or?
Yeah, I'm just kind of like. First thing is like, who left the cigar or the slipper on the floor?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Don't try
hairball.
putting your feet in that one.
It's just the puking. It's not hairball. all the
Yeah.
teaching that leads up to the hairball is what I don't like. The
Right.
hairball's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
So in my case, I'm not kidding. I'm in a tiny office, as you all know. It's called Arden, where I'm hosting Meowy Hour, and I have like a 10 by 8 rug, and then the rest is the wood. I swear, like you guys, the cats will land on the rug, and I have to use my lightning fast reflexes at my age, which are slower reflexes. And so far, when it comes to hairball hacks, I have managed to pick them up and direct them to the floor. I am battling this month 4 for 4 for the 3 cats that come in my room. But I know they're going to land on the rug. It's just destiny, right? So hairballs do happen, guys, but you also have to realize, play a little bit of being a cat detective. And you've got to check the hairball. I know it sounds gross, but if there's something like blood in it or some foreign body, like part of a string or something, these are things that you need to bring in and the cat to the veterinarian, right, guys? And there are certain breeds, and we got brainiac breed experts right in the house that are more at risk for hairballs. I know you know this answer, Joette. She goes, "You're putting me on the spot. Who's going to more likely have hairballs, short-haired cats or long hair?"
Long hair.
That's right. That's right. So ladies, let's talk. You got the Maine Coon you mentioned, Persians, Himalayans, Norwegian forest cats, ragamuffins, pixie bogs, Scottish fold, Siberian, ragdolls, any cat with medium to long hair, Turkish Angora. So that happens, right? But here's some statistics. About 50 to 80% of all healthy cats, whether they're a purebred or a mutt cat, they actually produce a hairball at least once a month.
That sounds too often.
Okay, but I'm not going to argue with the people with Vanna White initials after their names. In my first aid classes, though, I actually do a hairball imitation because it's different than a choking. Like when a cat has something that's obstructing their trachea, their airway, a cat that's doing a hairball, you guys know, ready? All right, that was really pleasant. But a cat that's choking is lurching. So make sure you can use your ears to detect whether it's a hairball or you need to maybe do the kitty Heimlich to help the kitty that's got something that's causing choking. You do need to get your kitty checked by your veterinarian. However, if they seem to be increasing in their number of hairball drops, or look at their coat. I'm looking at Rusty right now. Rusty has a nice, healthy coat right now. But kitties that have some kind of underlying medical condition that are doing hairballs, their coats might become matted or dry. And you might hear your cat making like dry hacking sounds. That's not good either. Check their abdomen area. It shouldn't be swollen. Check the litter box. There shouldn't be hard nuggets. It should be the regular good old Tootsie Roll shaped deposits. And if your cat is acting a little punkish or not really eating well, these are some things, specific symptoms that you need to report to your veterinarian to make sure, because they may need to have some medications. So let's go around the room. What's a great way to reduce the number of hairball incidences that you can do at home? Anybody?
Brush and comb your cat on a regular basis.
Yeah, even the short-haired cats, they recommend you brush at least twice a week. Long-haired cats daily. You know, try a slicker brush. Those are pretty good. What other things? Anything you guys want to recommend?
Isn't it increasing fiber in their diet? A little pumpkin, a little more, just because that'll help things keep moving on.
And speaking of moving on, there he goes. Rusty gets a little thing of pumpkin, as do all the members of my furry Brady Bunch, every day at dinner time for their meals, because I just want to have nice poop in the litter box and fewer hairballs. I'm so happy that I got to bring up hairballs with a very distinguisted guest.
Wait, you're bringing up hairballs?
I'm bringing up hairballs? No. Yeah, that's, see, I got like a dry cough. No, just kidding.
We're
all
pumping
right.
for you.
Yeah. Hey, guys, we wanted to let you know we're teasing you because probably the first or second episode of Meowy Hour in June, we're going to share with you some highlights of the three of us who finally got to be in the same place at the same time. We were at a CFA show in Mesquite, Texas, and I got to finally meet Kathy Black. I've known Teresa, but thank you, COVID. None of us had had a chance to meet. And so we all got together. So we are going to be putting some of our little interviews and up from that. Then just quickly, what's your thoughts, Kathy? You finally met how tall I am, right?
Oh, you were just like a kid in a candy store. You were just everywhere, talking to everybody. Every time I turned around, you were gone. Off on
So much to
another
learn.
somewhere. And yeah, I know. And it was just, and hopefully I can do something with those videos. I finally got them off my phone, which was not easy for some reason. And so
Well, thank you for
I haven't
doing
had
that.
much of a chance to work with them, but
We
yeah,
got time.
we got some great interviews, and thank you to everybody who let us speak to them and talk about their cats
And
yeah.
we also, Teresa was there as one of the all breed judges, and she got to pick best in show or whatever, best in breed. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I was doing, when y'all came through, I was doing my championship final.
Okay, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's get going. We got our prizes we want to give away, and then we're going to get into talking with Joette. So last week, our question was, what is the medical term for a cat's third eyelid? It sounds like they should be smoking cigarettes. It's called the nictitating membrane.
Right.
So we have two winners. One is from our sponsor, and that is In Clover and Kathy. And the other one is going to get a copy of my book, Happy Cat, Happy You. Take it away, Kathy.
Yeah, so Selma Kessler was the winner of your book, Arden.
Oh, cool.
And then I finally heard today from Doris Trottier. I'm sure I'm butchering this poor lady's name. Doris Trottier.
Spell it.
Trottier.
Okay, Protier.
Trottier. Okay, anyway, she gets the wellness samples from our sponsor In Clover.
Oh, that's great. All right. So here's the deal, our special guest, Joette White. We ask a trivia question right now. Do not give away the answer. Show a poker face. Okay, because we don't announce it till next week. All right. And for those that are live, tell your friends. I mean, I'm glad you're alive. For those that are watching the show as it's running right now, get your other buddies to jump on the show, which will be posted on the CFA Facebook page and the Arden Moore Facebook page. And you can still compete for prizes the next few days. So keep going. All right, here comes tonight's trivia question. In recognition that April 24th, that's just a few days away, Saturday, is actually Hairball Awareness Day. Did you know that there's actually a holiday for hairballs? I'm wondering who the hairball lobbyists were on this one.
Don't know.
All right, it is an actual holiday. Hairball Awareness Day, April 24th. Who knew? All right, here's my question. And you already gave away one shape, so just don't say anything. Which of the following does not describe a healthy hairball? Is it A, cigar shaped? Is it B, full of odor? Is it C, wet with tangled hair? Or is it D, the color of the cat's coat? So your choices are, is it A, cigar shaped, B, full of odor, C, wet with tangled hair, or D, the color of the cat's coat? The key phrase was, which of the following is not, sorry, that must have been Oprah, is not describing a healthy hairball. Which of those 4? The winners will get the set of the In Clover pet supplements. Casey and Rusty really like the hairball one. Sleek, how sleek is that? I just happened to bring it up. And I will also give away a copy signed of my Happy Cat, Happy You, because we all need to be happy these days. So Kathy, tell them how they do it.
Type your comments in the chat box on the Facebook Live. And you have until, you can watch this anytime on the CFA Facebook page and type that in there anytime between now and Sunday.
All right. So without further ado, it is my pleasure
We're
to
going to do our CFA moment real quick.
Oh, I thought we just did with the cat show because, okay,
No,
go ahead.
no, we have something
Okay,
to
go
talk
ahead.
about. Okay.
All right.
So
We're having a fun little, we're running behind today, guys, but
I know,
that's all right.
I know. I'll be really quick. Okay, so we're having another workshop with the Kitty Coalition, and it's common concerns with kittens and how to fix them. And this
that's
is going to
tomorrow.
be Thursday, April 22nd. Yes, so tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. The speaker is Susan Spalding, and you can go to the CFA Facebook page, look under events, and you can sign up there. So anybody that's got kittens right now and you've got some concerns, be sure and check out this workshop. It's free, right, Teresa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
very
it-
nice. Okay.
and
We
it's
need to get
tomorrow at
Susan
6
on our
p.m.
show. Okay.
Yes.
All right. That sounds good. And speaking of kittens, that's a perfect tee up for our special guest. She is in 2017, her business was named a Business of the Year by NAPS, which is the National Association of Professional Pet Sitters. It is the largest nonprofit professional pet sitting business in North America. So that's pretty cool prize. She is the president of Park Cities Pet Sitter here in Dallas. And as we're going to discover, she is an unintentional kitty mom to 7 kittens that were born during a freak snow ice storm here in Dallas. Wasn't it on Valentine's Day?
Yes.
It just gets better. Everybody join me in giving a warm pause and applause to the very talented, the very great cat and dog and other pet advocate, Joette White. Welcome to Meowy Hour, Joette.
Yay, thanks for having me.
So, all right, set the scene. You run your business, PCPSI, Park Cities Pet Sitter, Inc., in Dallas, and your office is not like in a corporate headquarters, right?
No, we office out of a duplex because I like that home feel, but I needed something separate from my home. So
Yeah, you didn't want to have running out of your home, right? Your business is kind of big, right? How long have you been with PCPSI?
Oh, see, the company started in 1992. So I started working for the company in 96, and I actually bought it in 2000. So I've owned it for the last 21 years.
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's great. So we're having a freak snowstorm, and you're married and you have boys, and I'm sure you probably had some Valentine's Day plans. How did they get interrupted?
She'd been pregnant. We knew she was pregnant. Knew she
Well,
was
tell everybody who she is.
Oh, Farah, who's actually taking a nap right now. She's over here.
Hi, Sarah. You're on. Everybody from the world is watching you right now.
And a rescue that I rescued in January, mid-January. At the time, I wasn't sure, but we figured that she might be pregnant, and so we brought her here. We wanted to get her off the street because it's winter and cold, and we thought, oh, she'll have 3 or 4 kittens. It'll be cute, and probably won't have any problem figuring out who to take them. And on the weekends we are not here, but we were doing double shifts, coming in twice a day to make sure on Saturday and Sunday that everything's okay. I have little webcams set up all over the place.
Very nice. Very nice.
I'd come over. Christy, who's my office manager, had been here in the morning, and I'd come over in the afternoon. And when I came in, it was already in progress. So labor had begun. And I had
Where did
suspected,
she have her first kitten?
gosh, I think she started around, two-ish, 2:30-ish. I tried to track it back with the cameras, but I knew something was not quite right. So that's why I came over and a little bit earlier than I normally would have. And she had I think 2 or 3 at that point.
And you're talking 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon?
In the afternoon, thank God. Yeah. So and the roads were treacherous. You know, even my staff, some of them couldn't get out and so forth.
I mean, and guys, in Dallas, we don't know how to drive on ice and snow. We don't have ice scrapers and we don't have snow shovels.
Nope. so it was interesting to say the least. And then when I realized that she's having kittens, I came in and it was just like a little bit of a mess here. And I had already prepped her area and I could tell she was digging. So I was like on the camera. So I was like, oh, she's digging. Something's up. And I thought, well, maybe she's just nesting, you know. So, but no, she was full on in the middle of giving birth. And I think at the 4th kitten, I thought, okay, well, she's probably done. And
and she's little, right? Ferris is tiny kitten.
Well, she's just skin and bones from being on the street, and she's a small size cat anyway. And so it just was, you know, shocking when they just kept coming. And you know,
when was the last kitten it came?
I don't know, because they all look so much alike, especially in the very beginning. It was hard to tell any of them apart.
But what time was the last one?
Oh, the last one probably was maybe about 5:36. It's almost about a 4-hour span. So from beginning to end.
And there were 8?
8 total. 8 total.
And 7 made it, right?
7 made it. Yes, Arden knows she got the panic call when I was trying to save the little one that was born without eyes and legs, and his little upper chest was all sunk. It just
We tried to do CPR and and you were great at it, Joette. I really, you know, we were saying like, see if you can use like a cotton swab to get some of the swirl, some of the fluids in the throat. Yeah. But you know, the kitty was probably the last one back of the bus and probably failure to thrive, but that's Mother Nature.
It was deformed anyway.
Yeah. So
you have the magnificent 7.
That's right.
You have. So how old are they now?
They are 9, just a little over 9 weeks old.
Okay, they're in a mush pile right there. You've got to grab a couple of them. They'll get another cat now.
I know. It's like, who to pick? Yes.
Well, you can pick whatever. Who's your buddies?
Oh my goodness. And they don't have any names. We just call them by their color because I know, right? So
look at that purple one. Oh, look at that belly.
I like that belly.
What do you think of that belly? I know this is not a Bengal, but can you talk a little bit about those markings, Kathy, to help us learn about this kitten? Because that's kind of unique markings.
Yeah, it definitely has some nice spots, and it's got the what we call vest buttons, or the buttons on the belly.
Buttons on the belly.
So it really is a very spotted cat. Yeah, very unusual to see spots. Most of the time you're going to get mackerel, and I think where her hand is, you probably do have a little bit of a mackerel. Yeah, so I call these spackerel. They're half mackerel, half spotted. I call them spackerel.
That's cool.
But it's just it's not a perfect pattern, but it is unusual to get spots.
Okay, let's see another one. Let's see if you got another one. Yeah. They seem to be all buddies.
They are, you know, so, and as they're getting bigger, it's fun to watch them all pile on each other, so.
And
I like their mask. They got a really defined face mask, right?
They really got the tabby M on their forehead. Yeah, they're really marked up, very pretty.
I know, isn't that crazy? And the little tummies and we're, you know, again, we suspect that she got out from wherever she was and then got pregnant because I was told that they were feeding her for about 4 to 6 weeks, and by the time we got her, that was probably halfway through her pregnancy. But so, and she was hanging out with a black cat, so you know we're thinking one dad only because they all looked alike. You know, most of them are boys. We had 5 boys and 2 girls out of the 7, and they're just
unusual to have a whole litter of random bred cats that are all brown tabbies, because normally your random bred cats carry something else. They may carry white,
interesting,
or the pointed gene, or a dilute factor where you get blues or something like that. So it's real unusual to get all browns so you had a brown to a brown or a brown to a
and you were saying that before we started the show that it's unusual they have no white markings on them, right,
Well,
Kathy?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's unusual that both parents would be that similar in their genetics.
Wow.
Could have had a black. You could have a black bred.
Oh, that one's dark. Look at that one.
Super dark, yeah.
Yeah, they're all gonna. Yeah, they've all got unique markings. And I bred Chartreuse, which only come in one color, and Teresa breeds Russian Blue that only comes in one color. So I'm used to putting collars on my kittens that tell them
Yeah.
apart, or tie yarn around their neck, or do hair ties or something to distinguish them. Because when they're growing, you want to make sure that someone's, when you're weighing them, you want to make sure
Yeah.
they're all thriving, and
Yeah.
when they're all that they're all the same color or all similar patterns until they grow up a little bit, it's hard to tell which one's which. So
I
Can
have
we, can we show that slide? Do you have that slideshow real quick to show how tiny they were?
Yeah,
And we can keep talking as Kathy punches it up. But I mean, is this the first big litter you've had as president of Park Cities Pet Sitter?
Yeah, my entire life, I don't think I've ever had a cat that had this many kittens at one time. So
We're going to show some. We're going to share the screen. There's Joette. Check out the next one, guys. It's pretty cool. This looks like they're on a boat to somewhere. Are they in a pontoon? What is that yellow thing that's cute as a button?
it's just a little banana plaything for them to get in and out of. So a little soft, squishy, place to hide.
So how old were these kittens, would you say? I see you've got one that's a rock climber.
See this one there in the picture in the banana, probably about, their ears had finally unfolded. So maybe 3 weeks, maybe
Okay.
around there. I'm thinking maybe 3, maybe 4.
And what about the one in the cat bed? I
Well,
love how they're all there.
They're probably about 6, 7 weeks there. So
Okay.
maybe I'm trying to think. Here they're younger. Yeah, definitely younger in that picture. Probably about 4 or 5 weeks probably.
Now, Kathy, what do you think of these, how they're huddled up like that? Isn't that adorable?
well, that's what
And it's also
do.
for warmth.
Kittens always sleep in a pile, but it's a good picture because you've got every one of their faces looking up, which is almost impossible to do with kittens. The only time I could get a really good picture like that was when they were all asleep, and you come in there and you first wake them up, then you get the picture, because after that they're all on the move.
Yep.
Now I want to clarify, everyone, the picture on the right is not the 3 boys who are responsible for impregnating Farah. Can you go ahead and give us these are pretty cool boy cats that are at the Park Cities Pet Sitter Inc., right? So tell us about those 3 in order.
Not the best picture, but yes.
Yeah.
And it's funny how Cruiser, he's the Bengal that I rescued a while back that was very overweight, and he's still.
And he was a Bengal, Kathy, because it was from a gal that couldn't take care of him. How much did he weigh at his heaviest?
23 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And you used, what are some of the things you used? Because you had people were following Cruiser on Facebook to slim down.
Yes. And I wish I could take credit for it myself. But again, Christy, my office manager, really kind of took that on as her project. But we all kind of had to keep up with it. So moderation, that was the biggest part. He's the only cat I've ever had that didn't know when to say I'm done, and just eating. So we had to change everybody's routine and bring in automatic feeders, and we just had to kind of play around with what the diet's going to look like. We worked with our vet, which is Metropause, and yay, and Dr. Durez. Anyway, so he's had surgeries, and he's because he's not for weight, but because he had.
But didn't he have an exercise wheel?
Yes, that's the biggest thing. So got him on a wheel, and he was food motivated. So shocking, right? So you get a few treats or get something, yummy tuna or something to get him on the wheel, and just start doing that every day. And then we got a special made harness for him because I had to have one custom made because he was so big. And started walking him outside. And so it just took about a year to get that weight off. And then he's put on like a pound and a half that he could shed. And when they're so small, a pound is quite a bit for a cat, obviously. And then we've got Henry. Henry is also a rescue from the streets of Mesquite. I got him when he was a kitten. And he's probably the biggest cat of all of them. And just the sweetest. He thinks he's a dog, I think. So Super friendly, all of them are. And then Carl is on the end, and Carl I got about 3 years ago from a rescue group, and his little back legs are deformed. So he walks really low to the ground and he can't sit up on his hind legs, but he runs super fast on the cat wheel. Nothing slows him down. So
Wow.
he's really stayed real small, like a kitten. Well, I say kitten. Just he's stayed real small. So we just call him the little the little brother that's always getting in trouble, and so.
And so this is the mother, right? Did we
It's
lose
fair,
Arden?
yeah.
I think we lost Arden.
Oh, did
And
we?
then this is the mother nursing all the kittens.
Yes, that's when they're a little bit older, and all piled on her, and I was like, oh, I gotta get that picture. So,
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I think we lost Arden.
Yeah, I saw that.
oh
Okay.
no,
So all of a sudden she just
She'll be
disappeared.
back.
she will be back. Yes,
Yeah,
she
she'll
will.
come back in. The reason we were a little bit late, for those of you that were wondering, Facebook, of course, has changed their ways that we do business, so it was difficult trying to figure it out. And I'm looking at us on Facebook, and somehow we have closed captioning now. So that's a new twist. So anyway, we're glad to be here and glad I finally figured out some way to go live with us.
Oh, I don't see the closed captioning. No, Lisa was, no, not Lisa. Leah was commenting on the closed captioning last week. I'm like, I don't see it.
I don't know. I can see it.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
Joette, so are you actively going into people's homes, or you have staff that
Yeah, so we were fortunate in the sense that we were considered an essential business. And so we quickly had to figure out what that was going to look like, because I didn't want to put my staff in harm's way, and I didn't want to, I wanted to be sensitive to clients and so forth. So we, very quickly decided, what we needed and so forth. And so we've been doing pet sitting the entire time, but doing about 30 to 40% of what we typically do. And that's come up
because people aren't traveling as much; they're
exactly.
all staying home themselves. I know. I haven't had my pet sitter here, but just maybe 2 times in the last year. So,
Well, we've been
so I was
fortunate.
wondering if your business was suffering because of that.
Yeah, it's definitely been tough. I feel more concerned for those who are just really super small and weren't prepared. We were in a good place financially. We had savings, and so we were able to take advantage of some of the things, the PPP money and so forth. But yeah, we just have focused on trying to do some stuff in the background and get prepared for when business is coming back, and it's slowly starting to do that. We're doing about 52% this month of what we did in 2019. So it's coming back. It's just slow.
Were there any challenges, unusual challenges, or things that surprised you were challenges?
We got a lot of calls from people that were in the hospital that didn't have any plan of and it was, emergency situation. They're in the hospital. And so, we had to determine, if it was COVID related or not. Step in, figure out if we could help because we didn't want to leave those animals uncared for. So yeah, it was definitely challenging in that respect, because we're doing stuff that we normally meet the client ahead of time and get all the details. And this was us, literally getting information, getting a key and going in blind,
Right.
as we call it. Yeah, and it was, again, very just not sure what you're doing initially and making sure that we got really lucky though. So none of our staff have been ill. Many of them are vaccinated now. And again, we're still practicing the same things we were a year ago, just to be on the safe side.
Well, I hadn't even thought about, all of a sudden you live alone and you're in the hospital with COVID and you have animals. Yeah, that would be frightening. What do I do and help? And you just have to walk into a situation without getting any instructions, or, what if they don't have enough food? So did you have to rely on some kind of other way to get food into those situations, or were they prepared enough?
Yeah, quite often, most people were able to communicate with us to a certain degree so that we were able to get information if we needed to pick up food, the brand, and so forth. But we didn't have those complications weren't too bad, so that was very good. And we were just fortunate that we were able to help. If it was a COVID situation, I usually wouldn't send anyone else. I would just go myself because I didn't want my staff to take that risk. But most of the time it wasn't COVID. It was just they happened to be in the hospital during this time and no one else would come in. So yeah.
So yeah, we talk about this as breeders and exhibitors. Lesson here is everybody have a plan put together, have it written down where your family member, your pet sitter could, or a new pet sitter could access that easily.
Yeah.
And a backup plan in case the pet sitter can't come or a family member can't come, and then you have to get the pet sitter. Either way, make sure you have a backup plan also.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What do you wish, as a professional pet sitter, what do you wish, or what would you like to tell people when they're using a pet sitter? What would you like them to know?
Oh, that's good. Interesting. We really want to know, what's their expectations? We want to make sure that we're all upfront and setting that expectation initially, so that we're not disappointing them if we do something or don't do something. So we try to be very upfront, because we don't fit everybody's needs, and because we do this, a certain way, and our staff surface of territory and so forth, we have to be mindful that how far they travel and so forth. So, I had an instance today where a client had moved and she wanted to keep the same sitter, and I had to tell her, I'm so sorry, but it's too far for that sitter to go. And she goes, well, we're not that much further. And, trying to explain those things. But, if they have an idea of what they want and they communicate that well, and we're good about getting that information, that usually it usually works out fine. But if they go into it thinking, oh, you're going to, walk my dog, take them to a dog park or walk him this long, or you're going to, stay, for several hours, and, you're really only there for 30 minutes, so, but yeah, just, and I tell them if they're looking for a pet sitter to look, for somebody that's bonded and insured, somebody's been in the business a while. People are quick to use a neighbor or a friend, which is fine, but when something happens, then they're not usually prepared for that. So, a tree falls on a house, things that have happened recently, hole in the roof, or, a pet emergency. And, it's just important to know that the person that's in your home is going to be responsible as well. Not throwing a party when you're gone, or, doing something crazy. And if something does happen, that they, have adequate insurance and stuff to take care of that. So.
Just to let our viewers know, Arden's computer somehow kicked her off, and she's rebooting and hopefully going to be joining us soon. So while she's doing that, if you don't mind, Joette, we'll pivot over to our breed. We always feature a pedigree breed each week. And so we can talk about that. And hopefully by the time we finish that, it's just a few minutes. Hopefully by the time we finish that, then Arden will be back with us. So let me get my presentation up here. We're talking about the Himalayan breed this week. And so let's see here.
I'm going to talk about the Russian blue that's trying to knock over my drink.
Okay, so the Himalayan is a division of the Persian breed. So by division, what I mean is that they compete separately within as a breed. So each division, we have the solids and the bicolors, which are the ones that have white on them, the tabbies and the smoke and shadeds, and anyway, those are all different divisions. So when we're judging the Persians, I'm going to judge them by division and hang my breed wins based on that division. So the Himalayan division is used to be outside of the Persians. It was just called the Himalayan. And then they were incorporated into the Persians in 1957. They were recognized in CFA. And just the four original colors, the seal blue, chocolate, and the lilac. And these are the colors that you would get by breeding a Persian to a Siamese. So that's how they were originally started, was to cross the Siamese to the Persian. And then you have to go back to Persian and back to Persian and back to Persian and back to Persian to try to get the head structure to follow the Persian breed standard while still keeping the point color restrictive gene from the albino gene that's in the Siamese. So I thought this was interesting statistic. Over 343,000 Himalayans have been registered with CFA since 1957. And like I said, those first 4 colors were recognized in 57. And then the flame and the torty points, which are the ones that have the, the regular color with the red gene. Those were in 1964, the blue creams in 1972, cream points in 1979, and lynx points just means tabby points in 1982. So that's just
And
kind
what
of
we're looking at right there is lynx point.
yeah. So the lynx points are going to have, just like your kittens have the M on the forehead, they're going to have those pencil tracings and you could have even some striping in the legs. You usually can see it on the back of the ears. So here's just some random pictures I grabbed off the CFA website. By the way, these cats will always have blue eyes. They have the blue eye because that's associated with the albino gene that has from the Siamese. Seal points generally are going to have some shading as they mature because this is a temperature sensitive gene, right? So the colder areas are going to be the more colorful areas than the body. And so as these cats age or they put a little more fat, you know how we all get cold when we get older, then their coat color is going to darken. We still want the same type as the Persians. We want the nice round head, the little rounded ears tilted forward, the short snub nose with the deep nose break centered right there between the eyes, and short cubby body, short heavy bone legs, and short tail. Here's some more cute Himalayans. This is a flame point or a red point. Again, you see the beautiful blue eyes on these babies. Whoops, I thought I had one more. Okay, I guess that's the end of my slideshow. Do you have everything you want to add, Teresa?
No, it's a good. One thing to remember with the Himalayan, again, the pointed pattern is just that. It's a pointed pattern. And some breeds are defined by the pointed pattern, like the Himalayan division, like the Siamese, like the color point short hair. But what we also see in other breeds is that they also come in other patterns and other colors. Same with random bred cats.
Yes. So the Siamese gene is a very potent gene.
Right.
And it can be hidden. It doesn't always express itself. So you could breed a cat that you don't think has the Siamese gene behind it, and the kittens will come out solid white. You're like, that can't be possible. They can't be solid white. And
like this one.
Then they end up getting their color. Right. Right.
The Russian blue back in the 40s after World War II to reestablish the breed were bred outcrossed to blue point Siamese, and every now and then we get a blue point Russian blue.
They call them white Russians.
No, white Russian. No. Pointed Russians.
Oh, I thought they were called white Russians. Okay.
Nope.
I didn't even know that about the Russian blues until I actually saw a litter that had a blue point in it, and
there they were.
They're cute little babies. They're usually shown in the household pet division. I don't know what Arden's issue is.
Hey,
so,
Joette, how did you start your biz? I mean, what made you decide how did you become a professional pet sitter?
Well, I was pursuing an acting career, so and I needed something flexible, and I've always had a love for animals and I love great customer service. And so when I started working for this company, which was started in '92, and I started working for it in '96, it just was a great fit. And I was there for 4 years and started to run the company for her the last year I was there, and she decided she wanted to do something new. And I had the opportunity to buy the company. And so 21 years later, here I am. So, and I love it.
There's not a lot of actors living in Dallas. So.
No, I did a little time in LA, and I still dabble in the acting world. I'm with an agency here, but it didn't pay the mortgage. So
no.
this does.
Do you sit both cats and dogs?
Yes, cats,
And-
dogs, fish, snakes, rabbits. Yeah, we don't do livestock, but pretty much everything else. So.
Oh,
Hey,
that's-
Arden, can you hear us?
Arden.
I think
Still
she's trying to get on her phone.
She's working hard on it. So
Yeah, she
yeah.
is. I don't think she can hear us.
So what's one of the more unusual pet sitting situations you found in, without mentioning client names? Of course.
Right. Well, we've seen some crazy stuff, both from the clients and from the animals. Probably the one of the coolest animals we sat for a brief period of time was a potbelly pig. That was fun because it's not a common thing. We've
Yeah.
had goats over in the Preston Hollow area, so those were fun. We've seen more and more chickens, a lot more chickens. But
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
mainly the cats and the dogs, and you know, sometimes you get some unusual requests, like they want us to spend the night, and their, you know, teenage daughters down the hall were like, we don't spend the night when other people are there, especially minors.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they're not babysitters, you're pet sitters.
And that's a whole world of liability I don't want to get into. So, but yeah, we've you know, walked in on people not dressed, and you know, it's been interesting. We've talked over the years that we need to write a book because you know, there's been some just hilarious things. And then one time we had a sitter that came into the home, and it took a few minutes to realize he was in the wrong home and there was people there. And so it was so all of that was worked out fine, but he was one block over, same address. So
Oops.
but yeah, it's you know, a lot of my staff have been with me for many years, which is great because we've kind of all grown up together in a sense. And been through all these changes with technology, because technology wasn't big back when we started, and you know, made a lot of changes, you know, to keep up with everything. But you know, talking about the pandemic, we just had no idea. We've never been affected by really anything, even the recession, 9/11. So this is the first time we've really been hit, and we realize that we're not invincible. But you know, here we are, and we knew we'd survive. So
Speaking of technology, you know, since a lot of people now have kitty cams and nanny cams and alerts, you know, alarm alerts, how I know that I can now tell when my pet sitter comes in and goes, how has that impacted you, and how do you feel about that?
we have talked about it since I bought the company, because even before cameras were really popular in the home, we had, you know, Gladys Kravitz, the neighbor next door, you know, or whatever. So I've always told my staff, you know, when you're in the home, you're on the job, you're at the office. So you just assume you're being watched, regardless. But now, yeah, you're on the patio and Ring's catching you, you know, and so, yeah, there's just so many other things. And so we've got a software that we use that can track our staff and ping where they are and so forth, you know, so that we're able to make sure that they're doing the job, the length of time, the right time frame. It just, you know, they just need to be aware, and they can hear you too. So, you know, and you don't always know that they've got a camera inside. So our only rule is that if we're spending the night, then we need to make sure that the camera's not on in the bedroom.
So what's the biggest misconception or the biggest undisclosed problem that comes up typically, that you want to make sure that you make it clear from both sides, so there's no misunderstandings?
Yeah, that's just probably the relationship with the sitter and the client. We have to be very careful how that's managed, because we want everything to go through our office so that nothing gets missed. And sometimes, you know, the staff do communicate directly to give updates and send photos and stuff. And sometimes you have what that relationship will be with the client and sitter, and all of a sudden the sitters, you know, or the clients decided they're going to do something on the side. So we're very clear that, you know, that the intent is to everything goes through us, mainly because we want to make sure that nothing's missed and that we are aware of anything that might be going on. And sometimes the clients are, you know, not great about letting us know when they come home, but they've texted their sitter, or you know, it might be, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so Arden, while you were gone, we did the Himalayan breed presentation. And we've had a great conversation with Joette. So
well, I have to get some ice. I'm not touching anything. I have no idea. Hey, everybody, my apologies. And the first time of using Zoom for over 2 years on any program, I've never had them kick me off and then say, So I didn't even curse, but I'm getting ready to make a drink because I
A
think
well-deserved one.
yeah, but I do appreciate you picking up the baton because, guys, I can tell you for personal experience that Park City Pet Sitters are the real deal. They're very professional. They get their team all certified in different areas like Pet First Aid, and they're my choice, my pet sitters that take care of my furry Brady Bunch. So I'm a pretty tough customer, and I love everybody from Park City Pet Sitters, and I love you, Joette. So let me get some ice for this glass. And I know we have to talk about the Pet First Aid and make the drink, right?
Yes, and I can talk about CCW.
Yeah,
while
you
you're
do
getting
that
your
while I
ice.
get the ice. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Touch anything.
So I hope we didn't lose her again. So the Cat Fancy Association also recognizes the non-pedigreed cats as well as the pedigreed cats. We have a program called Companion Cat World, CCW. And when you register your cat, it's a one-time fee for $13. You upload a picture of your cat and you get this beautiful card or a luggage key tag or a luggage tag or a key ring with your cat's picture on it. If I can get my fingers in the right direction. Everything's backwards on here. And your card and your cat's picture also goes up on our web gallery. So if you're interested in registering your cat, we encourage you to do so. The address is cfa.org/CCW, and you can read all about it there. You can check out the gallery. You can search the gallery by state, by cat name. So if you've got a name of your cat, Bitsy, let's say my sister's cat's name is Bitsy. I did a search. She has the only Bitsy that's been registered with CFA. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but you can see in your city all the cats that have been registered with our program. So everybody check it out, cfa.org/CCW. Okay, Arden, I'll show the picture for the drink.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one. It's called the Perfect Strawberry Meowtini, and it's got some crazy combinations, but I hope you like it. And as we show the graphic, let's give a big round of applause to the creator of this graphic right here, Teresa Keiger. Yeah, she's an all-breed cat judge and a graphic artist and a pretty cool person. So this is a sweet drink sure to make your taste buds declare me wow. So after my little technological hiccup, I'm back in the saddle. So for this one, it's getting to be the nice time of year. You want to have some nice strawberries. Now, because it's a green screen, I have to put it to my face. A basil leaf, some basil leaves. So you're going to need, what I'm going to do right now is in a cocktail shaker, I'm going to drop in 3 strawberries and 3 basil leaves. Do you like this, Joette, so far? And then cake, that famous thing I love, the muddler. The muddler. You want to put a little, you want to put about a half ounce, no, how much is it? A half ounce of agave nectar, which is not inexpensive. It's a very nice sweetener. So I'm going to put a half ounce in here. And I'm going to take my muddler, mash these strawberries and basil leaves together. What? All right. But I'm not done. This is what I need to do when you go off the air on. Add the rest of the goodies, which is we got to have a little ice. There we go. And we have to have 2 ounces of vodka, which for a pour like this is an 8 count. Oh, I need an 8 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You only watched about 20 minutes of this show. What do you mean you need an 8 count?
Yeah, and then we're going to add a little, this sounds crazy, balsamic glaze. We're going to do about a half ounce in here.
A balsamic glaze.
I know, I'm getting creative, man. And then counter it with some lime. Then you got to shake this kitty up. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your kitty. Woo! Shake your kitty. Then you take a beautiful martini glass, dress it up with some balsamic glaze inside. You pour your contents in here.
Wow.
Isn't that pretty?
And wow, that's a good one. And you dress it up with another fresh basil. And of course, I think I got this one cut, yeah. Of course, a beautiful strawberry or two. I got my knife here. On the side of your glass. Whew. So at this time, let us all raise a glass for all cats, the purebreds and the mixed breeds, for making us better humans and for giving us patience. Like what I had, I was very cool, maintained. So cheers, kitty. Cheers, kitties.
Cheers.
Cheers. So
It's got the lime, the sweetness, and the attitude adult of the balsamic and the nectar. So I guess I'm going to tell you guys, this is a great summer drink. What do you think of my concoction, Joette?
I would like to taste it, but I don't think that's possible through the internet.
Yeah, I'm not touching anything on my computer right now. Hey guys, it's been a great show, a crazy show, but I do appreciate my co-pilots, Teresa, Keiger, and Kathy Black, for stepping up when I went uh-oh on the screen. Of course, our special guest, Joette White. Check out pcpsi.com. There's a great pet sitting business. They do great things. We want, of course, thank the CFA, the Cat Fancier Association, for bringing this show every week. And we wouldn't be anywhere without our cool sponsors in Clover. Hey, Rebecca Rose. She's a biochemist. She started this pet supplement business. She's the real deal. And of course, somewhere in my back in this Ard's Den here in Dallas are Rusty the Performer and Casey, the pet safety cat. Next week, our guest is going to be, this is cool, Emily Hall of Kitty Cat Go, all about a new field, adventure cats. Wow. So until next time, same cat channel, same cat time. We'll see you on Meowy Hour. Everybody be safe, be good to your kitties.
Enjoy that drink.
I will.
We'll see y'all next week.
All right.